attorney Neil Lalani sanctions his pick as the place to congregate with friends. Margaritas and Mexican food are countenanced in this tucked-away place on a downtown street without cars. It's on Yerba Buena Lane in San Francisco, and the place is Tropisueno Mexican Kitchen.
My name is Erin Brooks, and I'm from Tropisueno. My partner is Michael Sofer. We both grew up in the restaurant business as children and worked in it throughout our lives. Tropisueno is a made-up word. We thought of the idea of a dream, kind of an escape, somewhere you would come into and be transported. And the tropical part came originally from our idea of the food, of it being influenced by coastal cuisine. The food is definitely authentic, traditional, straightforward. We always say no foof, no fluff. We wanted something that was more than a taqueria, but not fancied up, fancy Mexican food. We wanted a quality cocktail, real authentic food, and an affordable price. We definitely stress portion. My kitchen manager yells about my food cost a lot, but we like the plates to be big, filled out, and really provide value. But at the same time, we focus on the quality. Everything is fresh. We order 6 times a week. We make things 3 times a day. One of the most unique things about Tropisueno is that in the daytime it's a taqueria, so it's very fast, very quick, and affordable. And then at night, it completely transforms into a full-fledged Mexican restaurant with waiters and hostess and full bar.
Now, Neil, there are so many Mexican, eateries in the Bay Area. What makes this one so special?
So here's the thing with Tropisueno, Leslie. It's in downtown, right, and it's not only open for lunch, it's also open for dinner, which is a treat because, I work in the East Bay, and by the time I get back to downtown, most of the good Mexican places are closed by dinner time. So this was a great find. A friend of ours recommended it to us. And given its location,
which is kind of Metreon area, sort of, yeah.
It is, and it's really accessible to BART, Muni,
right,
any form of public transportation, and there's a plenitude of parking options. So it's a great place to get a group of friends together for some awesome margaritas and some great authentic Mexican food after work.
Now, we're going to talk about the food, but he did hit upon one of my favorite things in the world, margaritas. What is it that
you know what I like about the margaritas is they sweeten the margaritas with agave syrup rather than using simple syrup or sugar, and that minimizes that cloying sweetness you can get. You don't want to distract from a good tequila.
Yes. Now, you're a margarita man as well?
Oh, totally. And I was excited to go there because that's exactly what the first thing I was going to do was order a margarita.
Right.
And I did. Although I kind of felt there was a bitterness at the end of it, though. It was nice going in, and then all of a sudden it just kind of grabbed me from the back of the mouth and kind of shook me a little bit.
You needed a second one then.
Of course, I had to have a second one. I like the first one so much.
I have to say they're strong. They're definitely strong.
Yeah, you don't need more than a few, especially before a meal.
You can taste the tequila.
Yeah. Now, what about the food? What did you have, Ed, when you went?
I had the carne asada, and it was marinated perfectly. I thought it tasted great. It was grilled just to my liking, and it was very tender. It was delicious. It was really, really good. But I thought was interesting is they served it with a enchilada, a beef enchilada. So you had the beef and then another beef.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it kind of.
And the problem is?
Well, yeah, I was at the end, and I didn't really put it together till the end, and I thought I could have liked a vegetable here, but the carne asada was delicious. It was really good.
And is that a dish that you have normally, or what do you get?
My go-to dish typically is the Camarones Tropisueno, and it is
my friend had that.
It is awesome. Yeah. It is like a perfectly spiced and lightly creamed dish, and in the shrimp, most key is that the shrimp is not overcooked, which is really easy to do with shrimp.
Right.
And it's delicious. It's succulent and moist, and still has that nice crispness to it that shrimp has. That breaks apart in your mouth when you eat it. So
Yeah.
that's my
And
favorite.
Suana, what did you have when you went?
I had the chicken mole.
Okay.
And I used to live with a Mexican family, so I thought, okay, this is the test. Okay, if the chicken mole is good, then this restaurant's good. And the flavor was spot on. It was very, it had layers and layers of, you could tell there was like love in this dish. The only problem with it was that when I got to the bone, it was slightly undercooked.
Ooh,
so
with chicken, that's bad.
Yeah. So I didn't finish the meal, which was,
Okay.
but it was, I mean, it was my fault. I should have sent it back. But my brother had the camarones, and before I even tasted mine, I was like, oh, I wish I had that dish. It was, you can just smell it when it came to the table.
Yeah.
It was awesome. But the chips and salsa, before I even got to the chicken, like I was full before even my dish came
margarita
out.
chips
Right.
are
Yeah.
They're so light.
They're super
and
thin.
they're thin and they're fantastic.
Dangerous is what they
Dangerous.
are.
Well, hey, I mean, what did you guys think of the salsas there?
I like the salsas.
They were good. They're definitely
the
on the
habanero one,
milder
or-
side,
Yeah.
but it's definitely good because you don't know, like, yeah.
Well, we had 3 kids with us, 3 adults, 3 children, and we had the best seat in the place. I mean, we got there, they took us right to this table in like a little niche area, and we had it was almost like we were in our own little booth.
So it's kid friendly?
I don't know if I would call it kid friendly, but
No,
they
you're-
really.
I would not call it kid. I brought my
It's
3-year-old.
more of
and yes.
an adult kind of crowd. I'll
Definitely,
admit. I mean, the noise
definitely.
level and the focus, especially during after business hours around the bar area. It doesn't lend itself to being necessarily
Right.
a family-friendly environment,
It's
but
very
that's what
lively.
kind of makes it
yeah,
fun.
It's very lively, and
sense.
it's a great place for, like you said, after work.
Yeah.
Now, let's talk about the pricing. Did you feel it was expensive Mexican fare or not?
I think it's a good value. I like the entrees a lot.
I think the entrees are reasonably priced. The margaritas can get up there. So it was interesting to see a margarita cost as much as my chicken mole. So that's the only,
And I think
caveat
the
in
reason
that.
you're getting that is because
Yeah.
of the top shelf tequilas they're
Yes.
using, and they're like really unique tequilas sometimes, and
Yeah.
that will drive the price.
Yeah.
All right, Neil, this is your spot, so tell folks why they need to go to Tropisueno.
So you need to go to Tropisueno if you want to have a great night out with some good friends over some awesome margaritas and some authentic Mexican food in downtown San Francisco.
All right, Ed.
I think it's a good location. If you're downtown, I would go. I'm looking forward to going again and trying more of the entrees.
Okay, and Suana.
Lively atmosphere, great margaritas, good tasting food, excellent chips and salsa.
If you would like to try Tropisueno Mexican Kitchen, it's on Yerba Buena Lane at Mission in San Francisco. The telephone number is 415-243-0299. It's open for lunch and dinner every day. Reservations are recommended, and the average dinner tab per person without drinks is around $20.